My most popular video by far was a video called Dog Breeders Are Jerking Off Their Dogs. You can still find this video on BitChute, which is not very popular. My videos there hardly get any views, but it's kind of like my backup channel. So if you're interested, I'll put the link in the description. You can watch the video there. It was basically a collection of video clips that I had found on YouTube of dog breeders jerking off their dogs and collecting dog semen. I had some background music to accompany these visuals, and I also included bits of information about why dog breeders do this. Now, this video got flagged numerous times until it was finally removed. Dog lovers, dog worshippers, could not handle me exposing the truth, but dog breeders are allowed to expose this stuff on YouTube. As you can see, YouTube is filled with these videos teaching people how to do this to their dogs, but I'm not allowed to expose it. So anyways, I just wanted to make a video about this. I won't show you the video clips because I know people will report my video if I do that, so I'll just talk about it. So dog breeders do this because it's easier than moving the actual dogs around. Oftentimes when you put a male dog with a female dog together, they don't want to mate. They might become aggressive with one another. It also costs money to move a dog around. It's inconvenient. You have to board the dog. You have to, worry about. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more convenient and cheaper for dog breeders to simply send vials of dog semen around the globe rather than bringing their actual dog around the globe to mate with other dogs. So they do this for convenience and to save money. You can see in many of these videos the dogs are uncomfortable, they're not having a good time. They are forcibly held down, held in place because they are trying to get away. This is clearly violating the dog. I don't know how people don't consider this to be sexual assault, because, there are laws against bestiality. I think that if any pet owner would do this to their dog, people would raise an eyebrow. They would think it's really weird. More likely, though, they would say this is abuse. But if you're talking about a dog breeder who is doing this for money, well, then it's totally fine. They can do it. This is just one example among many of how dog worshippers are hypocritical and totally irrational when it comes to dogs. You'll find videos where they do this simply to relieve stress in the dog. There was one video that I included, a video clip of this guy who had a breeding pit bull type dog, but he said that he would masturbate his dog because it would harass his wife, sniff her crotch, try to hump her. It was really annoying. So he would therefore, extract the dog's semen. Apparently, a lot of this has to do with language. I think if you use the wrong language wrong in quotation marks, to describe what is going on, right? They're going to flag your video. If I talk about it and I call it semen collection, somehow it's okay. If I call it jerking off, ooh, bad. These people call their dogs family members. Is this something you would do to your son, to your brother, to your father? Next, we're going to talk about rape racks or breeding stands. I had another video that was flagged and removed because it apparently violated YouTube's community guidelines. I unfortunately did not upload this video to BitChute, so I don't have a backup anywhere. But again, this was a video that consisted purely of video clips that I found on YouTube, again, of dog breeders educating others, showing them how to restrain their female dogs in these devices so that the dog could be mounted and penetrated by a male dog. for breeding purposes, and they call these breeding stands. I called my video Dog Breeders Allow Their Bitches to Be Raped, which is accurate, but apparently too offensive. Now you gotta use softer language. So these female dogs often don't want to mate. The dog is forced by its owner to be penetrated. It can't run away. It can't fight back, so it just has to take it. And if this isn't rape, I don't know what is. The dog is not having a good time. There are videos of female dogs that are struggling, that are becoming aggressive towards the male dog that's trying to hump them. But if you see these videos about breeding stands, the female is restrained. It can't do anything. They call their dogs family members. Is this something you would do to your daughter, your sister, or your mother? I had a lot of very angry dog worshippers comment on that video, telling me that restraining female dogs in these breeding stands is actually an act of kindness. It is the loving, compassionate thing to do, they say, because otherwise the dogs might get injured. That's exactly like me saying, restraining my daughter in a breeding stand when I invite men over here to rape her is an act of kindness, because otherwise they might get injured when she fights back or whatever. Do you see how crazy this is? If you are a loving, kind, compassionate person, you would not put your family member in this situation in the first place. The true act of kindness in this situation is to not put your dog in this situation, is to not force it to be bred, raped, just leave it alone. Us dog haters love dogs. It sounds crazy, but we are actually showing more love to dogs than dog worshippers are, because we leave them alone. We don't do this to them. We don't exploit them for money or companionship or whatever, for protection or for status or to virtue signal, to soothe our anxiety or alleviate our depression. We find better ways of doing these things. So just remember this. If you pay a breeder for a puppy, you are funding this forced masturbation of male dogs and this raping of female dogs. You're paying for it. So the loving thing to do is to frown upon dog breeding, to, not purchase dogs and discourage others from doing so, and also sharing this video. Please get this message out there. I'm confident that as more and more people become aware, because that's another thing, I was shocked by how few people were aware that these things are going on. Raise awareness as more and more people open their eyes to see this insanity. Fewer people will choose to purchase dogs. And ultimately, the future will be gloriously dog-free, because as we grow in compassion and awareness, people will not support this kind of thing any longer. I'm often told I should seek help. I'm told this almost every day. I have sought help from a therapist who informed me there is no cure for awareness or empathy.